All right. We have unemployment updates, stimulus, and Afghanistan. Right. Which one should we get into first?
I mean, I haven't been keeping up. I mean, I've seen a little bit of the Afghanistan stuff. I don't have too much knowledge on it. And, as far as like the unemployment, I don't know what's going on with the unemployment.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So, all right. So let's get into Afghanistan and we'll talk the unemployment stimulus, right? Okay. So Afghanistan, obviously we've been in war like 20 years with that since September 11th. About 20 years, right? And...
Did you see that video of them hopping on the airplane?
Yeah, I seen the airplane video. Yeah, it looked real crazy.
Bodies dropping.
We'll probably post a picture of that so y'all see that.
Bodies dropping. I'm like, damn.
It's crazy. War zone for real. So obviously, this has been multiple presidents already started this process to withdraw at this time. So even when Trump was president, he started this process to withdraw. I believe he did extend it because he wanted to do it earlier, but he did extend it a little later just so it could be done a little better.
Right.
But now, it fell into Joe Biden's lap, and he decided, to still withdraw at this time and make it happen. The biggest thing that I guess caught him off surprise, but to me, it's like, how does this drastically catch you off surprise? Like, what's going on with our intelligence is that the country basically got taken back over in like 3 to 4 days, and they didn't expect that because they put a regime in charge, and they expected them to fight and last longer than 3 or 4 days. So they expected them to still have control while America was evacuating and getting everyone out of there. They didn't. The Taliban took right over. Now, to me, it just kind of shows, this goes through all the presidents, just how America works. Like, we've been in this country fighting for so long. Now that we left for spending 20 years in there and billions of dollars in there, that government, the one that we're fighting, now has better technology than when we first came in for the war. So we fought the war for 20 years. They now have aircraft. They didn't have that before. They might necessarily not know how to fly it, but they have it. They have buildings. They have technology.
They have helicopters and stuff. They have choppers. And...
Yeah. But I think we even left like jets there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
all I know is we left a lot of equipment there.
A lot of
guns.
A
lot of different types of guns.
A lot.
A lot of helicopters. Yeah. I'm like, damn, we left it in the
crazy.
Wrong hands, bro.
And then that's what I'm saying. So we fight this war. And we talk about, George Bush been saying, like, mission accomplished on this for, like mad years ago. You know what I mean? It just shows you what the PR is, I just didn't like, we're supposed to have high, like, top-level intelligence agencies, all this stuff. We couldn't withdrew better. I mean, we basically made an announcement that the military would be gone at this time, that we had to put more military back in there just to continue the evacuation. So I felt like before the military was withdrawn, like a lot of this technology and stuff should have been broken down, and you know what I mean? Like all these weapons and stuff, we should have evacuated all of that. Like I don't know.
All those weapons should have definitely been evacuated.
I'm not in that position, but I just felt like there has to be a better way to do this.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, it looks crazy.
Yeah, it looks crazy. And then a suicide bomber, unfortunately, killed, it was like over 13 people, like service members and regular people, and a lot of them were females too that were killed in this. Like
they were from the States?
Yeah. Or even just worked with America, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So officially, before August 31st, America completely evacuated, and they say there's still some allies in there, there's still some Americans in there, but America says they're working with other countries to try to make that happen, and the UN is trying to
Did you see those people trying to board the airplane from the outside?
Yeah, it's a crazy shot. It's a crazy, just to see that hanging on the airplanes, and
they was like, yo, this is way better than me hanging on this airplane.
Better than staying there, right?
Better than staying there. That's crazy.
But the crazy part is they're talking about mad people fell off like as soon as the thing took off,
Yeah.
So
I seen the video. I seen somebody falling off the plane.
It's a crazy situation, and to me, I don't know, and then here comes the conspiracy hat, and you already know how these platforms...
The conspiracy hat.
how these platforms getting it. I'm not saying it as fact. I'm just saying, just based off history, this is what it be looking like. When we step out and take a major military presence out of somewhere, it's usually because we're preparing for battle somewhere else. It's not just because it's going to be time of peace and we're bringing our people home. It's usually because there's something
Yo,
stirring
you
up
actually,
somewhere else.
you gotta get a hat that says conspiracy.
Yo,
And
we need a sound effect.
Yeah, when you
these
come up with
buttons
these,
I'm scared to press these
no,
buttons.
press the button. But when you do the conspiracy thing,
Yeah.
you gotta get like a hat or something. Like,
No, for real.
or a shirt.
You're going to have your Jedi suit. I'm going to have my
Yo, for
conspiracy
real.
hat. And then they know what time it is when we put it on. But I'm telling you, mark my words, man. Like, just watching out for a better battle,
That's
another
not
battle.
a bad point. It's a very good point, actually.
It's crazy. Now, let's talk, last but not least, I know a lot of people want an update on unemployment and the stimulus package, right? They call this a stimulus. Yo, I love the way they PR this. They call this a human stimulus package, right? And there's
The
no
human
stimulus checks.
package.
And there's no talk about direct checks going to people.
Yeah.
And they call it the human so it's part of the infrastructure bill, right?
Yeah.
They broke it down into two parts. The first part, the Democrats agreed with the Republicans and they passed the bill, which is mostly on like what we think is infrastructure, bridges, tunnels, that type of stuff, transportation and stuff. The next part is what only the Democrats are doing. They need all the Senate Democrats to agree, most of the House, right, to pass this because they have a slim majority. They're going to use budget reconciliation, which is basically we're passing a law in a different way than getting everyone to agree. Mm-hmm. It's just we have enough people in here that we could like bypass this, right?
Right.
So with budget reconciliation, they're working on agreeing on the human infrastructure package. They're already talking about $3.5 trillion. Right? That's the biggest package U.S. has done in history. So far, they're not talking about stimulus checks. But they're talking about like EBT and raising taxes on the rich. Not like raising taxes like they got to pay as much as the people on minimum wage do. Yeah. But
does the United States even have that amount of money? Like,
yo, I don't.
3.5 trillion.
They claim they do. I mean, they hit a button. And then when the people ask for it directly, they're like, "Oh, we can't hit that button for you." But I mean, it's a lot of money. So we do have progressive Democrats, moderate Democrats. They're basically disagree with each other. So we have some Democrats that feel like it is a lot of money, so they're trying to negotiate with themselves. So right now, the Democrats aren't fully on the same page, but they're trying to negotiate with themselves to get it done. So far, Joe Biden has came out and said federally he doesn't endorse extending unemployment on a federal position. Mm-hmm. He said, we did give out a lot of money during the pandemic that is still unused, so on a state-by-state basis, if you guys want to use your money for that, you can, and we encourage the states to do that on their own. But federally, he doesn't want to put that out there.
In translation, we're not trying to give no more money.
So, but then the story keeps turning, right? Yeah. So New Jersey has been one of the first states to come out and say we're not going to do that. So don't expect that that's going to happen. So we're interested. We know like most Republican states don't want to do that because they were trying to end it early. You know,
Florida's definitely
they're fighting lawsuits because they ended their unemployment early. Well, the federal one. Yeah. You know, so they're fighting lawsuits. Some states have lost lawsuits. Some things are still going.
Okay.
New York hasn't fully addressed that yet, but now we have some Democrats like AOC who is pushing, right? And they're saying there are like 95 people in her caucus in the House, right? And I want to word it how they're wording it, right? They're talking about it amongst each other if they should fight for unemployment on a federal level and try to change Joe Biden's mind on it, right? If they could put enough pressure. But there are some senators that are like, Democrat senators, like, I'm not with that. You know, like Joe Manchin, he's like, I'm not with it. To even agree with him when they did extend it the last time, Joe Manchin only agreed because I think it was supposed to go into like October. He was like, look, I only agree if y'all stop it in September. So even to appease him back then, it had to stop a month earlier. They couldn't do retro pay.
So he's not with it.
So he's talking about he's not with it, but he does change his mind a lot depending on when other Democrats give him what he wants. So I think part of it, Joe Manchin likes to save face a lot because he does come from a state that's usually Republican, and he is a Democrat and he wants to stay in power. So he has to like not be totally Democratic, but if you appease him and he gets to save face, he does tend to change his mind. But so now you have AOC coming out talking about we're going to work on changing Joe Biden's mind. see if we can get on the federal level. So that's where we're at to wait and see. Right now, he's saying he's not for that. States do what you do. Now, to me, New York hasn't announced what they're going to do, but AOC is a representative of New York. So if you're trying to change it on the federal level, you should be doing something in New York in the meantime while it's happening. But they haven't announced none yet. But as soon as they will, and mind you, we recorded this because when this episode dropped, all the information changes. August 31st. So we'll try to release this clip out sooner, just so y'all get it, because we film these episodes ahead of time. So we'll see how that goes, if they can try to change Joe Biden's mind. Obviously, because one, they claim this Delta variant is so crazy, and it's going out there. You know what I mean? They're saying 7 million people are on it, so that could take 7 million people off. Wow. But they say there are a lot of jobs out there that they can't fill. We'll see. My biggest thing, I liked what it was doing. It was forcing people to pay a livable wage, because if you're a company, you want to be in business, I like how it was kind of forcing you to pay a little more.
Yeah.
The government doesn't really want to fight like that, you know what I mean? Because they feel like there's open jobs. But absolutely, that's why I kind of was okay with it. It's just because it forces to pay a livable wage, and as a business owner, I'm for livable wages. But I've seen a lot of people, nowhere near business owners, they're like, oh, we don't need livable wages. What's I don't understand you.
Yeah, we already did an episode on that when we talked about business owners and stuff, and and some people that are not even business owners don't even know the business,
And some people's talking about the package should be bigger than $3.5 trillion because we need stimulus checks.
3.5
right? Trillion. 3.5 trillion. And some people trying to talk about we should be getting stimulus for $2,000 a month, till this pandemic's over.
I did hear about that.
That would be nice. Nothing is solidified. That's not a major conversation yet. But these are things between now and October 1st, they're expecting to pass it by.
If they did do $2,000 a month, how long do you think that should run for?
I mean, until they declare the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're ready to force vaccines and this and that.
Oh, yeah.
We have an episode coming too. The vaccine episode is coming.
Yeah, New York.
We're going to get some sides with the mandatory.
Wildin',
mandatory vaccine. I'm all for the vaccines and stuff like that, especially for the people that are most vulnerable. You want to protect other people. But when y'all start forcing it, I just don't believe the government should have power to force things inside you. It should always be a choice.
Absolutely not.
And we can't, But, yeah, man, we'll definitely keep you updated on the news as far as everything with the stimulus, what it turns out to be. Right now they're negotiating. October 1st, they're expecting to pass it and bring it to Joe Biden. So as they're negotiating, we'll let you know what's in the talks and what actually finally passes. We will keep you updated. A lot of interesting episodes we have coming up. Y'all already know we got keys for success for y'all. We're going to keep y'all updated on entertainment industry, the music, and, of course, what matters in the world, There's some fire.
He says hi, man.
Yeah.
Fire.
Saying hi. We saying hi everywhere.
Download Butterfly Doors, too, man.
Download Butterfly Doors. Facts.
For real, man.
It's going down.
That was a classic, too, man.
Yes. Subscribe to all platforms so you could be the first to get this podcast. And, thank you, God. We're stepping up every single episode, every day. We're moving up. More backing, more support. Well, I hate when you can love first. It's the Love First podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What up, everyone? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, baby.
We gotta show love first like a podcast.